you doing? Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. Friends, we've talked about it before, the concept of the Argentine grilling technique of salmuera. Now, I hope to hell I'm pronouncing that right. I looked at it and repeated it like 30 times on the internet how to pronounce it. Look at this word, salmuera? Yeah, whatever. So, basically, it's making a briny sort of solution that you're going to baste your meat with as it cooks. Now, before we talked about that, and instead of making our own salmuera, we used pre-made basting sauces from Spritz King, and they came out pretty good. Well, today we're going to make our own salmuera and pit those against the Spritz King basting sprays. So, let's get it going. First thing I need to do is get myself a mason jar. This is the day before. I want these flavors to have time to meld. In that jar is going to go my 1 1/4 cups of distilled white vinegar, 1 cup of canola oil, 1/4 cup of Spanish paprika. So I am going to mix together some smoked sweet Spanish paprika and some smoked hot Spanish paprika. And into the jar. Now, dear friends, you don't need to be writing this down as I'm doing it because, as always, all the ingredients, their amounts, and the directions are down below in the description section. Convenience.
Nice.
Next, I have 30 cloves of garlic. We're going to mince those up and add them to the jar. And into the jar they go. Maybe. Last 2 ingredients I have here is about a tablespoon worth of fresh thyme and a tablespoon worth of fresh oregano. We're going to mince that up and add it to the jar. All right, now we're going to tightly cap our jar, shake the holy crap out of it, and then chuck it into the fridge until we're ready to use it tomorrow on some incredible tomahawk steaks from our good friends at Traub's Butcher Shop. Ooh, our very own salmuera. We'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty, we're ready for the next step. Now, those of you viewers who are a little bit more detail-oriented may notice, hey, everything looks a little different. He's got a different shirt on. Well, I'll tell you what happened. 2 weeks ago, I was filming this episode. We were up to the point where I was getting ready to put the steaks on the grill. I had my salmuera sitting right here that I'd so painstakingly made the night before. I turned around, I bumped one of these bones, and knocked the jar onto the patio.
Foolish amateur.
So that night, there was no Salmuera Experiment. Now, it took me 2 weeks to get over it. Now we're back. So, I have my 3 tomahawk ribeyes, absolutely beautiful, from Traub's Butcher Shop. I have hit them with coarse sea salt. Now, I'm going to hit them with some of Spiceology's Gaucho steak seasoning. And then for the sides of them, we'll just get what's left on the pan here, mop that up. Okay, we're almost ready. Gonna hit them all with my meter probe, so I pull these off right when they're at about 125, 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Sure to get that probe in all the way. You don't want to touch the bone.
It sounds dirty, but it's not.
Alrighty, we're ready to go. So here's the plan. We're gonna put it in a spot on the grill where I can hold my hand there for 6 to 8 seconds before I have to pull it away. I expect it's gonna take about an hour. So once I start seeing some pooling on the top of juices and the top feels warm, we're gonna flip them over and finish them that way. As we're cooking them, every 10 minutes we're gonna hit them with something, whether it be Spritz King's Chipotle, Spritz King's Original Sweet and Savory, or our salmuera that we made. And then in the end, we'll get a judge out here and figure out, was it worth it to spritz them at all? And how does the salmuera compare to the Spritz King taste? So time to do some grilling. We'll see ya when we're towards the end. All right, steaks are done. I had to take those inside and carve them because it's freaking hot out here and I'm not acclimated yet. This is our first day of hitting 98 degrees. So I've got my 3 different flavors here: the salmuera, the savory, and the chipotle. Now we're gonna bring in an expert on beef and cows. She studied at the Bovine Institute in Washington. Evelyn.
Okay.
All right, here's what we got going on here. This one is the chipotle, this one is the savory, this one's the salmuera. I'm predicting that this is going to have the most flavor, so I'd like you to go from this way there. And you can wait until you're done with all 3, or you can comment in between however you want. You're the bovine expert.
Absolutely.
That means cow.
He knows his shit.
The chipotle doesn't have much flavor to it, almost at all.
Okay, you're not getting just steak, not chipotle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not getting any of the flavor out of it.
That may be better suited for a longer cook, like in the smoker. We'll do some experiments later. That's the savory.
That one's good, but I'm still getting a lot of beef flavor kicking in. Not a lot of... I feel like if you added a bit more, or if you let it kind of like sit longer, it might have more flavor to it, but it doesn't have much flavor at all.
Now the salmuera, the Argentine secret, which I think it's going to have, just by the looks of the steaks, I think it's going to have a lot more flavor.
It does have good flavor. I don't know exactly what it tastes like, but it's a lot better than the other ones, and it doesn't just straight up taste like steak without any seasoning on it.
As a review, this has oil, vinegar, paprika, basil, no, not basil, oregano, thyme, and 30 cloves of garlic. So can you, now knowing that, can you pick any of those out?
You can taste the garlic a little. It's not like strong, but the garlic definitely, it has a lot of taste to it. The thyme and oregano, right? It was oregano?
Yep.
Yeah, you could taste that a little bit more than the garlic, not a lot more. But that's kind of like what I'm tasting. The paprika adds a little bit of kick to it, but not a lot.
Okay, so which one did you like the most?
Definitely that one.
The salmuera. Okay, those Argentines know what they're doing. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this experiment. I know we did. Now we're gonna go chow down on those steaks. Thank you so much for joining us, and until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.